This is the Little Mermaid themed cage. We're going to strip it down and go from Little Mermaid to Tinkerbell. The day is Sunday, May 13th, Mother's Day. There were a number of different things going on. My number one priority was to be able to go and hang out with my mom. She was asking about the birds, so I decided to bring the feathered babies over to her house, including all my supplies that I needed to work on the decorations for my new Tinkerbell theme. Now, this theme was actually suggested to me by a mother at the school that I work at. She suggested Tinkerbell and using large-scale flowers and butterflies and random items to adorn the cage with. So I went with her idea and looked at a number of different Pinterest posts and tutorials on how to make large-scale flowers to add to my cage. Unfortunately, a lot of those techniques require a lot of different types of adhesives, super glues, hot glue, crafting glue. When I'm making decorations and toys for Glimmer and Dazzle, I try to avoid those items because they could be toxic and poisonous to them. So it was definitely an all-day process of trying to figure out how to adapt wiring, layering, using ropes and knotting to create these flowers that I was going to be placing within this cage. And currently at the moment, you're watching me clean the old cage of the Little Mermaid decorations and toys and 2 weeks of birds living together in it. So pulling all the perches, making sure those are scrubbed down good, cleaning all the food and water dishes, taking out all debris, and then relining the cage and getting it set for a new arrangement. And here's a video of all the finished products that I made at my mom's house. You have DIY toys made out of buttons and crystals, and then of course the large scale flowers that I made from the various color poster papers. The YouTube tutorials and the Pinterest tutorials just require you to cut out simple flower patterns and then curling the petals to give it a realistic look. I use wire to attach my pieces versus glue to keep it safe. And then the roses and these really neat stick flowers just required you to cut strips of paper and then wrapping them in such a way to give it these neat layered effects. I really like doing the dangle flower arrangements. I was just cutting out little tiny flowers and then stringing them on rope and using knots to space them out. Gave them a really cool look. And then of course you have my leaves that were cut of different patterns and then cutting out the veining detail. Overall, everything came out really cool. So now it's time to decorate the cage. I always start out with placing my perches before putting in my decorative items. I like to give the birds different heights, different levels that they can climb and perch on. And really there is no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the flowers in, see where they best fit, and then add the leaf details to give it that realistic look. So if you've ever watched an original Tinkerbell film, you notice that Pixie Hallow is very much the forest-like setting. So I wanted to go ahead and add a tree-like form to one of the corners of the cages. At the 99-cent store, I found a roll of this really cool brown poster paper. I'm going to cut some strips of that, crumble it up, and push it into the corner, and use this green husk-like twine to tie and anchor it down. As I begin wrapping it around the paper, you'll start to notice that it almost gives it that tree covered in vine look. It actually comes out looking pretty nice. No tree is a tree without a branch, so I decided to go ahead and add one tonight. Iridescent ribbon to give it that sparkle effect, and then everything's done.